Yo, what's up, guys? We're back with another video today. And guys, listen, actually. So we have Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales for a UFC Apex card, right? Now, here's the thing, right? If this was in a crowd arena, I would actually be so excited for this fight because I like Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is actually one of my favorite fighters, honestly. I think he's got a funny personality. He had some great fights in his career. He is on the downfall, you know, so hopefully he wins against Michael Morales. But I'll get into that when we get to the main event. But just the fact this is an Apex card just kills the whole excitement for me on this entire card, to be honest with you. I just don't care that's in Apex. Like, I genuinely have no interest in the Apex anymore, unless if it's in, like, the Dana White Contender Series or something like that. I might make a video talking about the Apex or something like that. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I might do it, but, you know, some of these fights, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of boring, so I'm gonna try and go through them very quickly, and I'll talk more about the fights that are actually pretty interesting. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, starting off with the first fight on this card, we have Teki Pennington versus Luna Perillo. I'm gonna go with Tekka. I just think that this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Tekka just because, I don't know, I just think that she has, I would say, slightly better wins. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Neither of them are high-level fighters, but I'm going to go with Tekka by decision. All right, next up we have Hongzhu versus Carlos Hernandez. I'm going to go with Carlos Hernandez by decision. I don't know why. Again, I don't know. I feel like Carlos is just going to win this. I don't think it's going to be a finish, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going with this by decision, to be honest. All right, next up we have Alice Reed versus Dennis Gorms. I'm going to go with Dennis Gorms just because she's actually been fighting some, like, she's been on a tear recently, and that's really what I'm going to go with. All right, next up we have Luno Santos versus Tani Lubez. I'm going to go with Tano Lubez by decision as well. Not much I can really say as well on this card. The only thing I will say, actually, I think this is the only time, like the first time for a female fighter that's wearing like the purple shorts or something like that. I can't remember any other fighter who's worn the purple shorts. I think Luno Santos is the first person to actually wear those. So if I might be wrong on that, let me know. But I'm going to go with Lubos by decision. All right, next up we have Yari Del Valle versus Carno Matthews. I'm going to go with Del Valle by decision as well. I could see this being a finish, but again, I don't think there's going to be that many finishes on this card. And I would say Carno Matthews is not that good at all, so I'm going with Del Valle by decision. All right, next up we have Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moises. Now, this one's actually a very interesting fight. I'm actually very interested in this fight because both these guys they're around like the top 20, top 25 of the unranked lightweights. This guy, Jared Gordon, has been done so dirty throughout his whole career. I swear to God to you. This man has been done so dirty. He got a robbery. He lost his fight by a robbery. The other guy did not win that fight. And they gave it to him just because, you know, they were in Abu Dhabi or whatever. But whatever about that. I'm going to go with Jared Gordon. I think Jared Gordon's going to win this fight. Thiago Moises is a pretty decent test for a lot of fighters. I don't think Thiago Moises, though. I think he's kind of in a downfall, I would say. Like, I don't think that he's that good right now. Whereas Jared Gordon, he's still pretty good at, like, the age of, like, what, 36 or something like that? And I'm going to go with Jared Gordon by TKO in round 2. I honestly think that. Alright, next up we have Gab Green versus Mukaz Cameo. I'm gonna go with Gab Green. I think Gab Green, I don't know. Why is Gab Green looking like, he kind of looks like the Hulk a little bit. He's giving me a weird build vibe. He's got like Apex. He's got weird muscle build. I don't know. He reminds me of something. I just can't remember on top of my head. But I'm gonna go with Gabe Green. I could see this by KO or something like that. But I don't think so. Again, I don't think there's gonna be that many finishes on this card. So I'm going to go Gabe Green by decision. All right, next up we have Juno Orez versus Michaelis Costa. These two actually fought very recently. I think in the span of like a month and a half, these two have fought. And they're both fighting each other now. So this is actually going to be a pretty solid fight right here. I'm actually low-key very interested in this one. I'm going to go with Costa. For one, I think he's younger. I think he has fought decent competition in his last couple fights. And I think Julian Orez, while he is pretty decent right now, he's I think either on a 2-fight or 3-fight winning streak. Most of them, especially in this last fight, were against old fighters, I feel. And I don't really see the same level. Like, they're not, obviously when they're old fighters, you're obviously not going to be at like a high level compared to a younger fighter. And I think this is going to be one of those things where the younger fighter is going to beat the old fighter. So I'm going to go with Motez Costa by decision. I think this is going to be a really good scrap right here between these two, to be honest. All right, next up we have Dustin Shokez versus Nuzan Rubekev. I'm going to go with Rubekev by TKO in round 2, I feel. I think that I think he's just too big for a lot of these guys, and I think he has decent power. He doesn't have power that can knock out like the top tier guys in that division, but he's got enough power where he can knock out the cans in this division, right? I think Dustin's a can, if I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think that he's gonna TKO him in like the second round. I could see this being a first round TKO finish, but for safety, I just like to do second round TKO, to be honest with you. All right, next up we have Sudikev Yusef versus Marion Santos. This is also another pretty decent fight right here. I'm going to go with Sadiq Yusuf. I think, for one, I think being in lightweight is a lot better for him. He got absolutely rocked by Diego Lopez in his last fight. He's now, I think, on a 2 or 3 fight losing streak or something like that, so he needs to win this fight. And Mario Santos, he also needs to win this fight as well, because he got a robbery win his last fight. I remember, I don't know how the judges gave it to Santos that fight. Wild to me. And I don't think Santos is going to beat Sadiq Yusuf. I think Sadiq Yusuf is actually pretty solid, but he just had to fight a lot of like top tier guys in his last couple fights, I feel. And I think also taking a year off is going to be good for him. Yes, he's going to be rusty, but at the same time, I think it's kind of good for him to get his mind reset and all that stuff. So I'm going to go with Sadiq Yusuf by decision, I think. All right, next up we have Rodolfo Beto versus Paul Craig. This is a tough one, right? This is a very tough one, guys, because I can see Paul Craig winning this. He has the fluke submissions, and I think that he really wants to win this fight, because I think if he loses this fight, his contract's over and he won't fight in the UFC. But I at the same time, Bellato is just so terrible. I swear to God, he went to a draw with Jimmy Crude. I don't understand. I'm gonna go with Bellato. I think Bellato has the KO threat, and I think Paul Craig is a bit chinny. I don't think Paul Craig has any other success besides take him down. If Bellato takes this guy down, he's done. He's getting submitted, I swear to God. But I am praying this guy has some brain levels where he actually will strike with him and eventually rock him and TKO him or something like that. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Bellato by either round 2 or round 1 KO by Bellato. All right, and finally for the main event, we have Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. I've been like back and forth on this one. As much as I don't want to say it, I have to go with Michael Morales, man. I have to. Michael Morales is younger. He's been on a win streak. He's undefeated. He's been pretty solid. Gilbert Burns has been on a 3-fight losing streak. Yes, they have been to high-level fighters. He's lost to Bilal, JDM, and Sean Brady. Those have actually aged pretty decently, I would say. I mean, 2 of those losses were against former champions, so I think that's aged pretty decently, I'd say. But again, he has been on a losing streak, and I don't know, man. I want to go Gilbert Burns. My heart wants me to go Gilbert Burns so bad. I don't know if that's just me being biased because I'm a Gilbert Burns fan, or that's just me wanting to see. I could see an upset right here. I could see an upset. I mean, you see this photo. Gilbert Burns is in a lot better shape than he was in his last fight. But I just see Michael Morales, and he's undefeated, and he's younger. He's got more experience. Not more experience, but he's more technical, more skilled, faster, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stick with Michael Morales by decision. I think Michael Morales is gonna win this fight, and I see him winning this by decision. I don't see him finishing Gilbert Burns at all. Gilbert Burns is very tough to finish. If he were to finish Gilbert Burns, I'd be very surprised, but I'm gonna go with Michael Morales by decision. But guys, that is me giving my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Are you even excited about this fight because it's in the Apex, or are you not? Because I'm gonna be honest, if this was in a crowd arena, I would be so excited, but it's in the Apex, and my interest is just down the floor. It's like the stock markets right now. It's all downhill. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!